Hello and welcome. On this video, we'll look at chain rule. So let's write the basic general formula for chain rule. So let's say we are given this fx to the power n. Here, fx itself is an expression, and surrounding that expression is a power. Now, after we differentiate this, we'll get n, and then we'll write fx as it is. And we know in differentiation we have to decrease the power of n, so n minus 1. Then we have to take this fx and differentiate it one time. So basically the first derivative is f prime x. This might be confusing, so let's look into some maths. For our first example, we have this 3x to the power 4 plus x to the power 5. So this is our fx. So we will follow this format. First of all, there's an easy way to do this math. Let's say this is x. This whole thing inside the bracket is x. So we will consider this as an x. Now, previously, if when doing this sort of math, if we had x to the power 5, and if we differentiate that expression, it would give us 5x to the power 4. Now, let's do the same thing here. Dy by dx. Now, 5, and since we consider this to be x, again, we consider this to be x, so first we will write this expression as it is here, and then the power decreases by 1, so 5 minus 1 gives us 4. Now, in our second step, we need to look at this expression. We have to take this expression and differentiate it one time. So this expression is 3x to the power 4 plus x. So let's write that down. Fx is equals to 3x to the power 4 plus x. Now, if we differentiate it one time, so f prime x, it will give us, so 3 into 4 x to the power 4. The power of 4 decreases by 1, so 4 minus 1. And if we differentiate x, we'll get basically 1. So 4 3 is 12 x to the power 3 plus 1. So we'll get 12 x to the power 3 plus 1. So if we simplify, we'll get 5 12x cubed plus 1 into 3x to the power 4 plus x to the power 4. So that is our final answer. Now, if we compare this, the way we did our process with the general formula, we can see the resemblance. So basically here the fx was this. Now the power n was 5. So basically initially what we did, we took n fx n minus 1. So here the 5 and fx is basically 3x to the power 4 plus x, and the power decreases by 1, so that's 4. And then we find the first derivative of fx, or basically we differentiated the function fx one time. Now here fx is 3x to the power 4 plus x. After differentiating one time, we got 12x cubed plus 1. So basically that's this one. And then we simplified the whole equation and rewrote it again. So that is our final answer. Let's look at another math. So for question 2, this is our question. Y is equals to 4, and then we had this to the power 5. Now here fx is basically this one. So this is our fx. Now if you consider this with the general formula, we'll see that after we give dy by dx here, 4 is the constant, so let's write 4 first, and then this is the power, which is 5, so 5 will come on front, so let's write 5, and then we have to write fx as it is, so basically 3x to the power 4 plus x. Then we have to decrease the power of 5 by 1, so basically 5 minus 1 will give us 4. And now our first step is done. In our second step, we need to differentiate the inner function, or the fx, or basically anything within this bracket. So our fx was 3x to the power 4 plus x. Now if we differentiate it one time, we'll get 12x cubed plus 1. So let's multiply that. 12x cubed plus 1. Now 4 into 5 gives us 20, and then 12x cubed plus 1, and then let's multiply 3x to the power 4 plus x, and the power is 4. So that is our final answer. Let's look at into another math. Number 3, our equation is y 1 by 4x plus 1 whole square. Now we already know that we have to take this 4x plus 1 to the power 2 from the denominator to the numerator, basically taking its reciprocal. Now if we take its reciprocal, we know the sign of the power will flip. So the sign of the power initially was positive, and now it will be negative. And now we can differentiate this equation just like before. So if we take dy by dx, and now first we need to identify the fx here. This is our fx. So basically following this formula, we will get minus 2, that's our power, so it will come on front, and then fx will be written as it is, 4x plus 1, and then the power minus 2 will decrease by 1. So minus 2 minus 1 will give us minus 3. Now fx here is 4x plus 1. Let's write that first. Fx is equals to 4x plus 1. If we differentiate fx one time with respect to x, we'll get 4. Let's write 4 here. Now if we simplify, 4 into minus 2 will give us minus 8. And then we have 4x plus 1 minus 3. So that is our final answer for this math. Let's look at into another example. So for question number 4, we have y is equals to 4 by 3x minus x squared. Now we have 3x minus x squared on the denominator. We have to take this to the numerator. But first of all, we need to understand what is the power here. Is 2 the power for this expression? The answer is no, because 2 is actually the power of x. So what is the power of expression? It is not given here. Now we already know if nothing is given, we will take 1 as the answer. So we can take brackets here and take power for this whole expression to be 1, because at the end of the day, if we take power to be 1, our expression doesn't change. And now if we take this expression 3x minus x squared from denominator to numerator, the sign will flip. So basically the sign will flip from positive 1 to negative 1. So 3x minus x squared to the power minus 1. Now let's do this math. When we do dy divided by dx, we'll get 4. Now the power minus 1 comes in front, so that's minus 1. And then here fx is basically 3x minus x cubed. So here fx is 3x minus x squared. So we will write fx as it is initially. So 3x minus x squared. And then our power minus 1 will decrease by 1. So minus 1 will give us minus 2. And then we have to differentiate fx. So our fx was 3x minus x squared. Now if we differentiate that, we will get 3, and if we differentiate minus x squared, we will get minus 2x to the power 1, or simply 3 minus 2x. Now we can put 3 minus 2x here. 3 minus 2x. After doing that, we already got our answer, which is minus 4, because 4 into minus 1 is minus 4. Then 3 minus 2x, 3x minus x squared to the power minus 2. That is our final answer. Another thing I want to note is that during multiplication sign, or during multiplication, or as we have multiplication sign between this expression and this expression, it really doesn't matter which expression we write first, because 1 into 2 is the same as 2 into 1. So if you write this expression first, the answer will be same. let's look at into another math. Now for this math, let's write y equals to square root of 3x minus x squared. Now we can write square root like this, 3x minus x squared to the power half. Now we have got our expression, and here the fx is actually this. So let's start doing the math. So after we differentiate dy by dx, we have to take the power half on front, so half on front, and then we have to write fx as it is, basically 3x minus x squared as it is, and the power will decrease by 1, so half minus 1 will give us minus half, and then we have to differentiate fx. So basically if we differentiate fx, we'll get 3 minus 2x. We have to multiply 3 minus 2x here, and this is our final answer. Now there's another way we can write it like this. Because the power is minus half here, we can take this expression 3 minus x squared to the denominator. So if we do that, we'll have half into 3 minus 2x divided by 3x minus x squared divided by half. Now we already saw that we can write half as the square root. So we can write this answer as this also. So 3 minus 2x divided by square root of 3x minus x squared. So all of these three answers, this one, this one, this one, are all valid answer. One of these three will work. So let's move on and let's look at another math. So for number 6, we are given an expression like this: y is equals to, now we are given cubic root instead of square root, so cubic root of 2x cubed minus x squared. So initially we have to do this, basically take this cubic root and make it power, so 2x cubed minus x squared, and then cubic root will basically be 1 by 3. So that's the power, and now fx is basically this expression. Now let's differentiate this. If you find dy by dx, first of all we have to take the power 1 by 3 on front, so we have to write that on front, and then we have to take the expression fx as it is, so 2x cubed minus x squared. We have to decrease the power by 1, so decreasing 1 by 3 by 1 basically means 1 by 3 minus 1, so that will give us minus 2 by 3. And now we have to basically differentiate fx with respect to x. So our function fx is this, 2x cubed minus x squared. Now if we differentiate it one time, we'll get 6x squared minus 2x. And now we have to put this 6x squared minus 2x here. So let's write this here, 6x squared minus 2x. We can write this expression as this, or basically take this forward and write like this. Either way, our answer is correct, and it really doesn't matter how we write our answer. There are multiple ways we can write our answer. We can take this expression and put it on the denominator, since we have power minus here, and then we can reintroduce cubic root. We can do a whole lot of things, but let's not make it complicated. Let's look at our last math, which is number 7. For number 7, we are given an expression like this: y equals to x plus 1 by x to the power 3. Now, within this function fx, we have 1 by x. Now, we already know that if we have x on the denominator, we have to put it on the numerator to make our calculation easy. So if we do that, we'll get x plus x minus 1 to the power 3. Because the power here was 1, and if we take the reciprocal of x to the power 1, we'll get x to the power minus 1, because the sign will flip. And now we have to differentiate just like before. So dy by dx. And now let's start. So our power was 3 initially, so that will come on front. And now this is our fx. Our fx will remain as it is, so x plus x to the power minus 1, and then the power 3 will decrease by 1. So basically 3 minus 1 will give us 2. After that, we have to differentiate this function or this expression, which is fx. So fx was x plus x to the power minus 1, and finally we will get 1 minus 1 x to the power minus 2. We'll put it here. So 1 minus x to the power minus 2, and that is our final answer. Hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.